Behold that tree in autumn's dim decay by Anna Seward, 1742 to 1809. Behold that tree in autumn's dim decay, stripped by the frequent chill and eddying wind, where yet some yellow lonely leaves we find lingering and trembling on the naked spray. 20, perchance, for millions whirled away, emblem also, too just of humankind. Vain man expects longevity, designed for few indeed, and their protracted day. What is it worth that wisdom does not scorn? The blasts of sickness, care, and grief appall, that laid the friends in dust, whose natal morn rose near their own, and solemn is the call, yet like those weak deserted leaves forlorn, shivering, they cling to life and fear to fall. Okay, this poem is by Anna Seward. She came from Derbyshire. Her father was a member of the church. He was a priest. And he had fairly progressive ideas for that time. And he taught her to read and write. She was taught mathematics. She was taught poetry. And in those times, that was very unusual. So what's this poem about? Okay, well, it's about death. It's about acceptance of death. And it's saying, I think, do not try to live forever, because there are many difficulties associated with living a long life. Yeah, and the whole poem is a metaphor. She sees a tree in late autumn, and there's still one or two yellowed leaves clinging to that tree. And this is a metaphor for people who have grown old and they've seen all of the other leaves blown away and they've died. This is for people who've died. And the survivors of these people who are getting old, and they are the leaves that are still holding on to the tree. Let's see, she had three younger siblings who all died while they were children, and I think maybe that's part of this poem as well. So, behold that tree, look at that tree in autumn's dim decay. So, autumn, it's late autumn, the leaves are falling off the trees, everything's decaying. Yeah, and maybe autumn here as well is echoing the fact that somebody who is late, who has lived for many years, are in the autumn of their life, and death is coming towards them. Stripped by the frequent chill and eddying wind. So the tree, its leaves have been stripped by the cold and eddying, and eddy is where the wind goes round and round, wind, where yet some yellow lonely leaves we find. So there are still a few yellow leaves, and notice they're yellow, so they're old and they're dying and decaying, but they're still alive, they're still on the tree, lingering, continuing, and trembling on the naked spray. Well, I think here spray refers to, you could have a spray of flowers, and I think this is the ends of the branches where there are still one or two leaves left. Yeah, so we look at this tree and we can see one or two leaves on their own, and they're still holding on to the tree for dear life. 20, perchance, for millions whirled away. So there were millions of leaves on this tree, but now there are only 20 left. And I think this is the idea of an old person looking back and seeing all of the other people that they've known have died, but they're still alive. Emblem also too just of humankind. So here she's saying this is exactly the same as humans. Vain man expects longevity, designed for few indeed. So man is proud and vain, he thinks he's wonderful and expects to live forever. And I think this is a characteristic of young people. Young people are immortal, yeah, but the reality is, particularly in this time, very few people live long lives. For few indeed, designed for few indeed, and their protracted day. So they're not designed to, humans are not designed to live forever. What is it worth that wisdom does not scorn? So what's the value of living a long life? Yeah? Is it worth the problems that will then be explained? So if you're intelligent, you would probably turn your back on the idea of living a very long life, because the blasts of sickness, care, and grief appall that laid the friends in the dust. So sickness, worry, and unhappiness are appalling, they're terrible. So here the blasts, the blowing, the blast is like a blast of wind. And here it's amplifying the metaphor about the wind blowing away the leaves. And in the lives of humans, sickness, problems and sadness are the blasts of the wind. And these are terrible things. When you see all of these things kill your friends that laid the friends in dust. So all of these people, all of the leaves that were there have died from sickness, care and grief, whose natal morn rose near their own. And these people were born about the same time as you, yeah? And they're people you remember from the past, but you are still alive and they are not. And solemn is the call. So I think here, she's saying that it's death is calling you, so you know that death is near. Whereas these people, they didn't realize that they were soon going to die. They believed they were going to live forever. Yet, like those weak, deserted leaves forlorn, shivering they cling to life and fear to fall. And despite all this, just like these leaves that are clinging to the tree, these sad and lonely and lost leaves, yeah, they're shivering. So they're in a terrible state. They're shivering in the wind. Yeah, the humans, the old people, they cling to life. They don't want to die. And they fear to fall off the tree and be no more. So let's see, this is saying that we need to accept death. It comes to everybody. And that maybe living forever or living for a very long time isn't as wonderful as it seems to be. So, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Behold that tree in autumn's dim decay, by Anna Seward.